Hello, folks. Good morning to you. Welcome to another date of challenging broadcasting for us, and might I add, rewarding day of listening for you. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. It's a Saturday, the 13th day of September 2025, and as usual, I'm not alone. The Edo man is here. So let's meet and greet him. Charles Ideho.
The Edo man in Lagos.
Okay.
Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
How are you doing, sir?
Charles, I'm okay.
Yeah,
and you?
Good. Yeah,
you slept
okay.
well?
Yes, I did.
Good.
The weather is also very helpful. We always ask, is this weather for tea or weather for two? But for me, it's weather for tea.
Okay. All right. So you're expecting a weather for two?
Yes, some people, weather, particularly those who just got married, the weather for two, but us is weather for tea.
All right, folks, let's get along with the business at hand. The first offering, as always, would be the newspaper headliners. The first paper on call here is The Punch. The Punch is here, and the lead story. Charles, I wonder if you've heard this. Indicted Air Peace co-pilot, cabin crew, NSIB, lied. We don't drink alcohol, smoke marijuana.
Yeah, I don't know which one to believe, because there's something that the airlines are not supposed to do. Every profession has its own rules and regulations.
Yeah.
The accident or the incidents, first of all, that happened is about the accident that happened. Not as an accident per se, but the accident investigation had tested the pilot and the crew members positive for alcohol and marijuana. This is why the suspect came, because after the plane they flew was involved in the runway incursion. Runway incursion also is something that not very common in the flying industry.
But it's criminal.
Yeah, it's criminal, exactly. And maybe I will explain what the runway incursion means. Well, that happened on Sunday, the 13th of July, 2025. Now, the Air Peace aircraft had veered off the runway while landing at the Port Harcourt National Airport. Now, the NCIB revealed that the aircraft touched down, listen to this, 2,664 meters from the runway threshold. Now, of course, that's well beyond the recommended touchdown zone, and eventually came to a stop at about 219 meters into the clearway. Now, for those of you who want to know what it means, an airline incursion, as you said, is a wrongful or unauthorized positioning of an airline at a runway. Now, they say if you were sane, if you were in your right mind, you should not, you should properly park, or you should not overshoot something and all that. But they are saying, this co-pilot and the cabin crew is saying that first, the hospital they took them to, they took their blood and urine to. It's not an accredited airline or aviation hospital. Now, what they said is something they used to test them. When you stop somebody,
like
you
a
put
breathalyzer.
Like a breathalyzer. They didn't do that. Now you took their urine and blood on the 13th, and the investigation, the result now came out 10 days after, on the 23rd. So the hospital you took those things to, is not an accredited aviation hospital. And why did it take you 10 days to come up with that? So they are saying that they believe that somebody is playing a game there to further
mess them up.
Deal with the image of their image and the image of the airline.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the problem.
But Charles, in aviation, just like in broadcasting, takeoff and landing, very key.
Very, very key. Particularly takeoff. When I fly, I prefer the landing to take off.
Okay, as an Edo man, you fly.
Oh no, I know what we are talking about. Not be our type. Not be that type for Rukbota. Not be that one. Not be that one for Ekewa.
Okay.
I'm talking about when you are flying an aircraft, not the witchcraft. There are two craft. You have the aircraft. You have the witchcraft.
You are telling me?
No, I'm telling you now. Since you veered into that, let's broach it.
No.
There's an aircraft. There's a witchcraft.
The listener is not interested.
Which one were you talking about when I fly? Is it witchcraft or aircraft?
No, the Airpiece story.
So the thing is that I prefer landing when you have when we are taking off. There's this eerie feeling. You know I have to hold on to my seat but when you are landing, it's usually is. I mean, it's easy and all that. So, but people, the person were not even aware of all these things because of course they were all on board.
Especially those.
At the back, exactly. So that's. But we hope that the thing will further be done and then let the truth come out because we the flying public we need to be safe at all times. Yeah.
Okay. Other stories in the Punch. Nepal uprising. Yes. Government supporters counter protest calls in Nigeria.
Yeah, but I don't know whether the Nepal situation is. Well, I don't know because corruption is corruption everywhere. Because the clampdown on social media what they call the last straw that broke the camel's back, and then particularly the Gen Z. But those guys who are calling for for them to do it in Nigeria, they said when the thing happened in Kenya, Nigeria did their own. There was NSAID, there was NBAC government. That even in corruption, Nigeria has got to that hit to a level that the all crescendo, as they call it, that they feel that it's time for Nigerians to also take a cue from Nepalese example.
Well, Nigeria is different from Nepal.
Yes, exactly.
You know. I agree. They are both countries. Okay, how about this? Dangote dares NUPENG to unmask 18 billion naira, $18 billion refinery squanderers.
Yes, exactly. Turnaround maintenance that never turned around. They never turned anything around for how many years? Dangote is saying because the DSS met with them and then they got to a truce. So they were able to procure truce. And then they said Dangote now bowed under pressure of the union that his newly recruited drivers should be enrolled in their or not enrolled actually to be enlisted in the union. But Dangote is saying now, for instance, if you have a problem with Lagos State government in Apapa, maybe a truck is seized, then NUPENG will now call for strike, which will affect him himself. He has nothing to do with this. Something happened in Apapa, for instance, and then his refinery is at Tibejuleki. So what's the connection? Then NUPENG will now call out his drivers, and then they go on strikes. His drivers will not load. But okay, the NUPENG, you are asking for better wages. You are asking for better pay. You are asking for all this HMO and all that, which I'm already providing for my drivers and all that. So what you are asking for, I'm already providing. So why should you now make it compulsory for them to join you? Whatever you are asking for, I provided. But they said they must join. Now, we understand that for every truck that loads, NUPENG got 120,000 naira as a levy. For every truck, 120,000 naira. So, but I think I blame Dangote initially. When they just opened, he allowed them to set up a boot camp or a camp at his refinery over there. Where all these people, they go over there, they act as maybe tour gate and all that. 120,000 naira that they pay. But he's now telling them, if you are saying this to me, when Obasanjo, commercialized, you commercialize now, no commercial, what do you call that? When you sold to individuals, when you sold the NNPC to individuals, privatized. That he was among those the consortium that came, but you were among those people who were firing. You NUPENG. Now the money that has been spent, where is the money? But it's only unionism you are talking about.
Charles, you are getting agitated.
I am, because it's vexatious.
You are neither Dangote.
I'm Nigerian, because if they go on strike, they affect me. I won't be able to buy fuel.
But do you remember the cynic who said, "I like the war going on,
it pays
so long as it affects the
it brings down the
pump price of petrol."
But if NUPENG calls out these members to go on strike, it definitely there'll be scarcity. And the scarcity will bring about a markup of the pump price.
Charles, other stories.
Yes.
I've achieved Tinubu's mandate on rivers, says Ibas.
Well, that's a headline, but people will say, what's the mandate? That's why they have to clarify. The mandate is that to bring peace in Rivers State, which he had achieved. He was also able to conduct a local government election, which of course he has also achieved. And then there's relative peace, if you will,
calm,
in Rivers State. So of course, which
and so the speculation is Governor Sim.
Yes, and he
Is
said, and
expected.
the Professor Odu, they are coming in on the 18th.
On the 18th,
Which is next week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they are upbeat. River States are upbeat. Everybody's happy that, of course, there's going to be a kick-starting of the second stanza of Fubara's coming.
Okay, Nigerians, consider this one. Nigerians in South Africa cry out. Women are giving birth on bare floors over xenophobia.
Yes, it's there. I think there's a group they call the Dudu. Is it Dudula or something? And incidentally, this man the man with that loud voice at the National Assembly, what's his name now? He was here. He was here at the NBA conference. He's actually in support of Nigeria. Nigeria did during the apartheid regime that Nigeria actually played a very good role. Is even paying for
key role,
a key role. They even sending them to Nigerian investors and all that. But how are we paying Nigerian back in bad coin? But what's happening? This the members of the Dudula, I can't remember what they call it. Is an organization that are fighting against immigrants, particularly undocumented immigrants, taking up jobs that's supposed to be for South Africans and all that.
So underline undocumented.
Undocumented, yes. So what they are doing is that they are going from hospital to hospital to say if you are an immigrant and you are undocumented, then your wife has no reason to give birth in any hospital, government hospital. So they are chasing them out. So because of that, then some of these wives of Nigerians are now giving birth outside the hospital. So that's why they are
bare floors.
On bare floors, yeah.
And brings to mind the Hippocratic Oath.
Of
You remember every doctor.
but what can
would
doctor
swear? No.
Yeah.
Otherwise, every medical facility would be familiar with that oath.
Yeah, I do understand, but what about the Dudula who are going there up in arms? Up in arms. So with the doctors are not armed, but the Dudula that how South Africa is when it has to do with protest. So doctors are saying, well, doctors are not even saying anything because these people they will go to hospitals and be chasing out those who are there who came for antenatal and all that.
Thank goodness you underlined undocumented.
Undocumented, yes.
Immigrants. Okay. How about this? My state is in the news. Hilda Bassi cooks largest pot of jollof rice in second shot at world record.
I thought Hilda Bassi was her do. The mother is short. You are claiming Hilda Bassi now. Okay, let's leave it.
Bassi Naido. Okay, go on now. I'm
No, okay. She's a half caste. But I'm happy. She's very creative. You remember the one she did in 2023 when she won that, and it was everybody was now cooking, even the Kitty, everybody in Ghana. They said the Ghana one that was not that one was not
Charles,
recognized.
you won't go to court over this. The best cooks are from.
No,
that
of course,
part
no.
of
I know. Even I used to my wife's not listening. I used to have an Eket girlfriend. Eket, yes.
When you were in the world.
Before I got married. Actually, I don't know if
that's
I was.
better.
Yeah, before I got married, when I was so I used to have an Eket girlfriend, a very beautiful girl who wanted us to get married, but it couldn't work out.
Because your people warned you.
No, it's not about me. I think. Well, anyway, let's not tell the listener why. So I remember they say Bankuko, and rest of them. Bankuko.
It's cocoyam porridge.
Very sweet and all that. I nearly lost.
All right.
So give it to them. Give it to Akwa Ibomite.
Okay. Don't take it away.
Okay.
Neighbor who trafficked my 2-year-old daughter to Italy asked me to move on. Libya-based Nigerian woman.
I'm not sure because when we look at it, I'm not sure because they're even not telling her whether the child is still alive. But you understand? I had a friend he's still alive at times, so I have him. He's somebody who did a documentary on the trans-Saharan immigration over there. Yeah. If you go to the Sahara Desert, there are bodies of boys and girls that are littering everywhere. Now they said
in the 21st century.
You remember this Mercedes-Benz 200? Remember those days? Messi Oloye. No, yeah. Did I Messi Oloye?
Oloye is
500.
Elegant one. Yeah.
Okay, no, this is 200. Now, as small as that car is, you have about 16 passengers. Yes. So some of them will be on the bonnet, hanging on to the wiper. If you fall off, they leave you.
It's good night.
It's good night. So, and this one will now find a way. Now, if you face your left, it's road. You face your right, so everywhere is road. So where do you go to? And then these people, there's no water. They have to be drinking their urine, and before you know it, they pack up. So this woman said, "Where's my child? Can I know whether the child is still alive or not?" They said, "Move on. Don't forget." It's painful.
But you know, one thing here we must point out is what happens to us and with us.
Yeah,
is dependent on the choices we
make. Exactly. Yeah. Now, the woman made a choice to send her child through the what they call double way. Not through, not through the normal, because normal is very, and it turns out to be very expensive, because if you want to go get visa and all that, if you have passport, it's even less expensive than this place they go through.
Be careful the choices you make.
That's the emphasis.
And how about this? NAFDAC seizes 1.2 billion naira adulterated fake malaria drug.
Well, they even told us not to be very careful. If you go, that was why I think somewhere at the Dumota, they've also warned us to be very careful on those, because there's an explanation. I forgot how they explain how to detect which one is fake, which one is not fake, and I forgot. I should have mentioned. Maybe they should go and Google it and I'll find out. So. You remember sometime two months ago, the drug market in Onitsha was also shut down by NAFDAC, which of course caused that furor. I don't know whether they have really still opened it for business right now. So they just
course, you know, that came to a head in the late Professor Akunyili.
Exactly. Yeah. That of course, you know, it pitted hard against those drug. I mean, okay, let me not call them the barons. Yes, okay, pharmaceutical barons as we call it, so that we can separate them from the drug that everybody knows. So it pitted hard against that. Some people even say that that's partly what caused her early departure. So, but people should be careful. Don't also do self-medication, please.
Take your time from us. 20 minutes past 7 in the city of Lagos, and we are on Voice of the People Radio, 90.3 FM on the dial. Newspaper headliners. Yeah, let's move now to the next newspaper, and I'm talking about the Daily Trust. The lead story: Japa, greener pastures getting nearer.
Greener pastures. Where in Nigeria?
That is why the listener
need to read that. Yes.
Asked to go read the story in the Daily Trust.
Well, if you say Japa, the green, because that's a kicker for that story, for that headline, greener pastures getting nearer. Possibly, I don't. Maybe they foresee something good in Nigeria, that they turn Nigeria around, that we don't have any cause. But for now, let me quickly say that I'm sure maybe you might find it in any of the headlines that Burkina Faso has just made a declaration now that you do not require visa to visit, as long as you're an African, not just West African. As long as you are an African, you do not require visa to come to Ouagadougou anymore.
If I'm light-skinned,
as long as you are African. You know, Peter Tosh said, as long as you're a black man, you are an African. Sorry, even if you are Haitian. You remember there was a time Haiti, they wanted to join AU, African Union, but you remember? Yeah, they wanted to join AU. They said they wanted to leave what do you call this? Some sort of not Oceania, Americas. It's not of Americas. Yes, they wanted to join ECOWAS. No, AU actually, African Union.
But you remember at the time, one voice from this same Africa said, they are juju too much.
No, voodoo. Actually,
voodoo. They say it's the headquarters of voodoo.
Yes, it's from them. Benin Republic, all of them, they are all. I went to do, in 2006, I was invited for about 1 week to go and do a research on voodoo religion. In that place.
Did you returned with something positive?
Yes, of course, positive. I nearly won the CNN award on that report.
Regarding voodoo?
Yeah, voodoo report, exactly. It was, I think it was second runners-up I came up with. The CNN award, yes.
They did not say you'll be a doorman.
No, I did tell them. If you go to Uida is where Angela Kidjo comes from.
Kidjo, yeah.
Yes, there is what they call Temple de la Python. That's Temple of the Python. The tree there over as at that time, 2006, was about 900 years old. That the tree, you can't call it. So the python, the Temple de la Python, the python, the python, they are there. You don't kill them. So it's a very beautiful place. I also went to the no return.
By the way, you know there's a place in Anambra you don't touch pythons.
No, so I know in your friend, our friend, Zukama. In Ogidi,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Ogidi. I lived in Ogidi when I was secondary school. My brother was there, so
Okay.
in Ikenga village actually. That's where Achebe comes from, or the China Achebe. That's
Yeah.
he hailed from that place. So I know there was time they will find. I think they call it agwo. You find it when you see if it comes to your house, you
snake.
and that's what I'm saying. Agwo. Then you go call the Ezemo.
We call it asabo.
We call it enye.
Okay.
So you go and call Ezemo to come and remove it from your doorstep.
All right, more stories in the Daily Post this morning, a Daily Trust rather. 12,000 doctors down tools that strike.
Yes, NAROD. Yes, exactly. And then we were just dusting off the near grounding of the economy by NUPENG. Then doctors, they are coming. The health sector needs a proper, or what I say now, maybe I don't know. Maybe we need to do something about it. Particularly if is it somebody even called on the radio station I was on. Is it possible for there to be legislation to say even government officials must not go abroad to go seek medical attention? Because the Aso Rock clinic is here. The federal medical centers all everywhere, they are there, and these places are left unattended. So, but any little thing, you go abroad, you go spend so much money there. Why ours remain comatose? I understand that in the 70s, I don't know, maybe you should know that even the Saudi royal family were coming to UCH in Ibadan.
UCH in Ibadan,
yes, exactly.
yeah.
So where did he go mad?
When we dropped the ball.
Okay.
Okay. More stories. Benue Assembly reshuffles leadership, names new principal officers.
Yes, it was very. I knew that would come because remember that I think it was sometime last month that there was a quarrel, in a manner of speaking, between the House of Assembly and a combination of the governor and the tortive of the tortive. Professor
traditional
yes.
ruler.
Now the thing is that the governor submitted nominees of commissioners or so. One of them was a younger brother of Tortives. So the speaker now said no, but are there no other persons? That's when the investigator said he was not qualified for that position. So they said they were not going to pass him. They were not going to give him any go ahead. So the governor now felt slighted because the Tortive said he was also how do I say it now? Also there's a language I'm trying to look for. Yeah, they insulted him. Yes. So
high up,
exactly, they insulted him. So he and the governor in Kahoot now decided to work, and then there was a removal of the speaker. They brought another speaker. Of course, you must know that they had to reshuffle. That's how it is.
I think in the Holy Writ,
yes,
there's this line: "His place, let another take."
That was when this man died. Judas Iscariot. Judas Iscariot died.
You are attempting a bit of preaching. So
yes.
Let's go to our next story.
Let's leave it there. Left it.
Yeah. Still talking politics. Mark Aregbesola remain ADC leaders as court rejects suit.
Yes, the opposition have been validated. So now ADC can rest and then do whatever they want, because it was a heavy moral burden upon them that while the suit persisted, or it was a problem whether Aregbe and Mark were going to be shoved aside. But now that
the INEC recognized
INEC has also recognized them. So now that it has happened, they passed that hurdle. They were able to scale through the hurdle. So I'm sure those people who want to have something to do with opposition, this is your time for you to hold the ladder up for ADC to do whatever they want to do. So I wish them well. Well. Yes.
Okay, how about this? Crude oil theft drops to 2.04 million barrels in 7 months.
Yes, which is good for us. Part of them is concerted effort by the agencies, that's security agencies, and of course, particularly Tantita. Government Tompolo. Yeah. So the concerted effort amongst all of them is what we understand is giving us this leeway. So we hope it continues so that I mean, to be reduced to the barest minimum, if we cannot eliminate it totally.
Okay, hear this one. Customs in Apapa rakes in 20 billion naira in one day.
They say it's 24 hours. I mean, the man just took over. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You know, if you say one day now,
Okay,
24 hours. Yeah, that's why I said 24. So he knows that it's within that same day. You know, they said they just I forgot his name. They just brought him in, and they decided to do a magic one. So which means there was theft before he came. Let me give you a story. Professor Ishak Oloyede of JAMB.
Yeah.
The National Mosque in Abuja. So we're told every Friday the offerings collected was not more than 13,000 naira. And it is that offering they use to run this. So the man has said, why is it 13,000 every month, every Friday? Does it mean people don't give more? So who counts them? So the man had said to, now what he did was to construct boxes. He locked those boxes and kept the key. So I said, okay, he had donated new boxes to you. So they now collected offering at a single Friday. They got, when they opened, they got over 400,000 naira. He now said, okay, maybe he now repeated it again and got 400,000 naira, 400 some thousand naira. So it means that people were stealing. So is it possible that it's simply that it's happening that this man was able to rake in something in 24 hours?
Have you heard the phrase "it have take"?
It have take where they have.
Okay, now let's move to the Guardian. Very close on 7:30 from here. The Guardian leads with this story. Happy one. Nigeria's trade surplus hits 7.5 trillion naira in second quarter of 2025.
Yes.
Up 5.6%.
Yes.
From first quarter.
Yes. I think we've upped the ante regarding our export. And on that. So we are moving up because even I think something last year I had cost to go to the international airport here. We had a radio item we imported from Denmark. So I went there to supervise the clearing. I saw the activities at the import section, the circle, was, in fact, that was a beehive. When I now moved to the export section, that was like a graveyard.
Yeah.
So, but now that efforts are being geared to reverse the trend, I hope that it moves faster so that we can balance up the trade, and then, of course, leave the trade deficit and go to the trade credit, in the manner of speaking.
Yeah. You just told us the story about the National Mosque.
Yes.
So you can take that story to Nigeria as a project.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. So the leakages are being plugged.
If we do the right thing.
Yes. Leakages are being plugged.
Yeah. We don't need special nights at
we don't. Yes, and we don't need all those things. Yes.
Okay, Nigeria's crude oil losses dropped to 16-year low.
Yeah, it's a recurring story from that the one I mentioned earlier. It's a recurring story.
Dangote Refinery showcases polypropylene at proper 2025.
I have no idea about that story.
Polypropylene
I think it's,
is
for what?
The bag.
Oh, okay, yeah, for polythene bags and all that. I think it's a polymer or something. Is it part of polymer? No, polymer is for rubber.
And
plastics.
So
this is for
the refinery also produces
nylon bags. Okay. Congratulations to us.
Of course. Also. Polypropylene is one of the byproducts.
Yeah, I think there's about 18 or something, if I'm not mistaken, or more than that.
42.
42. But our one is just AGO and all the rest and all that.
They tie us to petrol.
Yeah, and then the mattress we use also part of it. The road for the bitumen the road from the bitumen. Then we understand that even the plastic biro you are using, all these things are part of it.
Bitumen also comes from.
It also comes from exactly. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay. Let's move to another paper now. The Vanguard is here. High cost of elections. How Nigeria spent 981.5 billion naira on 7 polls in 24 years.
Yes, it's humongous. Most of these
close
things,
to 1 trillion naira.
Yes, part of them logistics. Then again over invoicing. You also have over invoicing over there, printing. So in fact, it's mind-boggling. But if you look at it, you place pari passu or side by side, what we have gained, our gains in the proper elections.
Yeah.
what we call the I think this when you conduct election, is free, is fair, is credible. If you place it side by side with this humongous amount of money, what the percentage of gains that you say you have made? So it leaves more to be desired. Actually,
the problem, one big problem remains the fact that politics has become a full-time business.
No, it is, and it's very critical, because you could be a dropout and then become a multi-billionaire even within 2 years if you are elected or if you are appointed.
A councillor earns more than a professor.
Yes, yes. So if you could be a dropout, just have a godfather who will feather your nest, and then you go in there, and then the money comes. That's it.
Okay, minor pieces from the Vanguard include this one. 5 days to Fubara's return. INC, PANDEF, MOSOP set agenda of inclusivity.
Yes, they're telling Fubara. Yes, we
don't
know
forget us though.
No, not forget us. Actually, it's not about not forget us. It's actually that now they has done. They are thinking that he is partly tied to the apron strings of some big people in Abuja.
Okay.
So don't dance to their tune. Don't act their script. Rivers State first. Yeah. The citizens of River State must play a role in your return, your second coming. Don't say because somebody did, they have given you a script to act upon, then you forget Rivers people. Rivers people must be the central, the focal point of your administration in this your second coming. So that's exactly why they are telling him they're setting an agenda for inclusivity.
Okay.
Over there. Yes.
Hear this one. Drugs, sex, everything available in Nigerian prisons. Agba Jalingo.
Yes, it's our friend Agba Jalingo. Yeah, I mean, we have no reason to doubt him, because he's been in and out of detention in the past 2 years for multiple times. He's written quite a number of essays, and he's also featured in TV and radio programs where he brought all this thing to the fore. If you go over there, even the warders, is it what they call it, warders or wardens? I don't know whatever the name they call them. They are also part of the whole thing. Yeah. They are in cahoot with all these criminals. If you have big money to spend, then you can procure comfort in the what do you call the recreation? No, they call the correctional center.
Correctional center.
It's no more prison. It's called correction. I don't know who is corrected over there. Even when they come out, some of them appear to be worse.
Until you go there and come out, you not go no.
No, but I know I have stories of people who went in there and they came out.
You have ears and eyes there.
And no, as a journalist now, as a reporter, myself a reporter.
Okay, consider this one. Bode George declares PDP deputy scribe persona non grata in Lagos.
Bode George, Baba, I don't want to offend Baba this morning. I am not also particularly happy with the way the role he has played. The man is always quick to want to play one fashion, against another. Even Bode, what's his name? The one that flew their flag in 2023 in Lagos. He wasn't particularly in his camp. So Bode George is a statesman. He should also be seen to be. How do I say it now? I won't say it should not be apolitical. I mean, he's a political animal. But what is that party? Everybody should be his sons and daughters.
You cannot be apolitical when you are in.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not possible. Deep. Yes. So he should play that role as a father to all, not to say this one is my fashion. If there are differences, it should bring everybody under one umbrella.
Oh yeah.
You see, that the umbrella is their
father
logo.
figure.
Father figure to everybody and reconcile them.
Okay, but you remember one quotation I always love.
Yeah.
From
Bonaparte.
Bonaparte.
Yes.
In politics, if your enemy is making a mistake,
leave him.
Don't interrupt him.
You should even help him to make more mistakes. For your gains.
This story. Hurdles before Mark Aregbesola as party finally crosses the Rubicon.
Yes, they got a lot to work on. Even within ADC, it's not yet there's no love lost, because there are factions over there. The Ibe Kachiko faction, those other ones, the Apapa, no, not Apapa, Apapa is not Apapa. There's another I've forgotten the name of this man there. Anyway, there are people within that area that are also saying that even when the emergence of this tool also didn't follow due process because they were just told they were not carried along. So they are still ruffled feathers in that party, which of course they must calm to ensure that they don't carry this quarrel, in the manner of speaking, to the polls in 2027.
Yeah.
They have a lot to do. They have a lot of healing to do. They have a lot of bringing people to cementing crack walls within ADC. They have a lot to do. So it's not going to be easy for them. But I wish them well as a Nigerian.
Charles, I have this story too. Obi of Lagos, Southern Igbo Ezes and leaders disown Azubuike.
Well, for me,
I had the fury.
Yes, he was arrested. I think he was coming up. He came up with a 1.5 billion naira recreation center, including his palace and everything. But he may mean well. But I think the nomenclature, Jones, thankfully, we are into communication, and I always say English, as somebody who studied English language, words matter to me a lot. When you say, I also understand Igbo to some extent. When you say the Obi of Lagos, that's the Obi itself is paramount. You are ascribing to that position, paramount ruler of Lagos.
It's like saying in Yoruba the Oba of Lagos.
Yeah, but if you have said the Obi
of Igbo.
No, not even Obi Ezendi or Obi Ndebo, Obi Igbo of Lagos, that now restricts you to those who pander to your leadership, but not Obi of Lagos. I mean, that's vexing. Because nomenclature matters. Obi Ndebo, as you have a Zendebo, not Eze of Lagos. That was when that one didn't. I mean, you can have a Zendebo of anywhere, but Obi of Lagos was a slap on your host. The Yorubas, how do you expect Yoruba to? You remember there was a time he was also, I tell you about 3 years ago, he was also doing the Seriki House of something of Edo that. Not even Benin of Edo. No, they said no, you couldn't do that. Edo is Edo. We have only one Oba.
Because
there's
somebody who acts like a Seriki.
Exactly. Already.
Yeah.
There is people are saying, people who are arguing in favor of this Oba Obi of Lagos, I say there's Seriki Hausawa. Now I say what is Seriki Hausawa, the Seriki of Hausa community, not Seriki of Lagos. There's a difference between Seriki Hausawa and Seriki of Lagos. There's a difference between Obi of Lagos and Obi Ndebo. So they must look at that. So
dear listener, please get a copy of the Vanguard, read that story. Obi of Lagos, Southern Igbo Ezes and leaders disown Azubuike.
Obi Ndebo is better than Obi of Lagos. Please, nomenclature matters a lot. That's the paramount ruler of Lagos. Come on.
Yeah.
The guy get live out. Just as we have, this other man in Ghana now is beginning to clear the air. That is I think it's what do you call them? Is Ndibo of Ghana. It's not Eze of Ghana, but it's Ndibo of Ghana. He is saying that even there were times that Neofife and traditional ruler will come from Nigeria to visit him. What he does is to vacate that stool and let that Obas, because he knows that back in Nigeria it's not a royalty. Yeah. So he leaves them to occupy that. All Neofife will visit Kabiesi, sit down on that throne. I am not as big as you are, but here I am the leader of the Igbo people in Ghana. That's what he said, which for me is good.
Okay, here another story. Federal government orders Dangote NUPENG to implement September 9 deal as DSS wades in again.
Yeah, but what I was asking the other day is, what's the
deal?
Yeah, no. What's DSS own in it? Waiting be their own for this NUPENG Dangote.
Well,
DSS.
Look at this.
Oil matters.
Anything that happens in the oil industry will affect the whole country.
But are there threats?
Hold on. Of course.
No, I'm not asking a rhetorical question.
The DSS can be likened to the FBI. The FBI in America
I know.
is in charge of internal security. The CIA is
external.
So the DSS has
okay. Well,
a stake here.
so but they said they came on Friday that meeting where they broke up peace between Dangote and the other NUPENG. So that was why they said Dangote bowed under pressure to allow his drivers to be unionized, and then we thought it was Uhuru, but now they are still saying that and NUPENG is saying Dangote is reneging on that. Now Dangote is now saying no, but you can't force me to certain things. But now, okay, if you are pointing fingers, who stole our money? The turnaround maintenance for 18.something billion naira for turnaround that was not even turnaround. So DSS calling that, okay, you come. Let, as they will say in court, let the status quo ante remain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. How about this? Oni Alaafin supporters responsible for supremacy feud.
Yes, I agree.
Ladoja is saying this.
I agree.
The Olubadan.
I agree. Because even both of them, for instance, you saw.
And you ask yourself, is the feud necessary?
Was it necessary in the first place? You saw what both their media assistants were writing that time, giving ultimatum to Oni within 24 hours. If you don't bring that in, there we see which consequences are you talking about? So I think when we are appointing people, that's why I always quarrel with some of these spokespersons of governors and presidents. You know, as a spokesperson of a, for instance, if you're a spokesperson of Akwa Ibom State governor, your job is to market the governor. Market the governor and sell him to the people. Sweet selling, but don't be looking for imaginary enemies. Oh, those disgruntled. The language disgruntled. Forget this disgruntled. Those who are disgruntled, tell them the governor can do certain things. That's exactly how it. That's what we are taught in PRO. PRO is to sell your principal.
I have one story here, still in the Vanguard. Governor Yusuf sends bill on same-sex marriage to Kano Assembly. How do you react to that?
Yeah, I understand that Kano is headquarters of such rubbish. If they have done that too, if they want to make it, how do I say it now? If they want to make it a law, I will be happy, because over there people are being sodomized and a lot of things are happening. So I think if they make it a legislation, it will be happy. I'll be happy. Then use the ISBA and then the regular police to get people who are caught to be brought to book.
Okay, let's quickly race through the last but not least paper this morning. The Nation. The lead story is Refinery's scandal. EFCC scales up probe. Orders Kyari to report daily. Well,
Kyari, how the mountain falling. But what people are asking, I'm also joining to ask. I hope everything will be done in such a way that nothing is hidden. Because very soon, some emirs and some towns will now be making calls to say, you know, let's give him a soft landing. And before you know it, then that thing goes away. You know, so that's exactly what. Maybe calls. Okay, so I think that's it. Maybe that's it. But I hope it goes on that. I hope he's brought to book.
Okay, I have fulfilled my presidential mandate, says Ibas.
It's a recurring story. Yeah. It's a recurring story.
Yeah. Okay then. Time to swing the microphone over to you, the listener. How do you react to the story and stories we shared? Please stick with the stories we shared. The line is free now. Let's go there. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. The radio icon.
Welcome, sir.
Prince himself, good morning. Alabala is my name.
Alabala before me, Jewuru.
Yes, this is Oba of Kano. And the Oba of Anambra.
Go sit down, my friend. Go sit down.
Yeah, you know how to not to
60
sit down.
seconds.
Yes.
60 seconds. I'm timing you.
Yes, it's an insult to the Yoruba race. If this thing continues, Oga Jones, don't forget, some people still have in their mind that Lagos belongs to nobody, even the Yoruba. Despite that, they came here and bought
that debate has been that
has been cleared.
No.
It has been cleared.
Don't forget, somebody mistakenly said it on TV.
He corrected himself. He corrected himself.
It must not continue. It has become an insult, everyday insult, and embarrassment to the Yoruba race. And if it continue, we might not fold our arms to continue waiting to react.
Right.
It's an insult to us. It's an insult to us. You guys should tell them to keep quiet and shut.
I think that has been corrected, and even anybody who has made that mistake, they've corrected it. How can you say a place is no man's land? There's no man's land anywhere.
All right, another listener is here. So I say good morning to you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Shah.
Yeah, good morning to you.
This is Kolawole.
Good morning.
I want to talk concerning security.
Okay.
I thank DSS officials that
Which story are you reacting to? Which story?
Concerning security. The terrorist leaders that has now been prosecuted in the court now. One of them has been jailed for 2 years.
I don't remember taking a story like that.
We didn't take such a story.
Please.
Okay. Let me talk about the problem between Alafin and Onofife.
Yes.
The Olubadan elect.
The Olubadan elect.
Supporters of
it is the supporters. I agree with that. If you look at those two of us, they are still very, very young. I don't see any reason people should be dragging unnecessary issues.
All right.
So now I feel it to be all the supporters, the Badons, yours, the first, the Egbas, we are all one Yorubas. Even to the kingdom,
thank you. 60 seconds out.
Edo is on Yoruba. Please don't please.
We are Yorubas.
We are not. We are not. We are not. Please.
We are the same thing. Thank you very much.
Stop it. We are not. We are Edo. For the fact that we were in Western region doesn't make us Yoruba. It was political and geography that brought us to Western region. We are not Yoruba. Sorry.
Okay. Another listener is here. Hello. Good morning to you.
The technology is acting.
Hello, good morning to you.
Well, I don't come now.
Put off your radio, please.
I've already obeyed your law because I want to obey the order.
Go on.
My name is Prince YS. Calling two of you from Oshodi.
Okay, welcome.
The city in the center of universe.
Yeah.
Actually, I greet all of you very dearly. Now, Emeke must change the law of this country. The man deceived more than 200 million Nigerians that are refineries working.
Meleki
Yari. Any name we call and say Fita. So this man, Charles, when you mentioned that national mosque matter,
yes.
I was very happy. It happened then. Look at when we are talking of corruption, when you go to house of God, it's everywhere. We are supposed to be holy. Is it not house of God? This is Meleki Yari or the other we are talking about. Look at former Kasat General, more than 90 billion. And I know they've got big mosques, they've got big churches.
60 seconds.
We must take the.
Thank you.
The timer is timing everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello. So the line is free. What story caught your fancy, or what stories are you reacting to? You have 60 seconds to do so in. Hello. Welcome.
Hello. Good morning.
I greet you.
Yeah, this is Alpha. I'm calling from AJ.
Put off your radio.
Your radio is
please.
actually.
I know you want to hear your voice.
Please. Go ahead.
I have done that. Good. Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to react to the OB of
your radio
Lagos.
is still on. If you want to
No, it's off. It's off.
Okay, move a bit from there. Maybe you were in the car or something.
Half an hour. Am I okay?
Continue. Yeah.
Okay, I want to react to the news of OB of Lagos. I believe the man shouldn't have used that OB of Lagos. He should have used OB of Ndibo in Lagos State. That was the name he's supposed to have used. At least that represents the Igbo people in Lagos State. But using that OB of Lagos is not the right word. I believe we should be corrected. And even though if he wants to still carry on the activities after maybe his release or something like that, I believe they should correct him properly and find out whatever it is that he wants to do.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Room for 1-2 more calls. Hello. Good morning to you.
Good
Good morning, citizen.
I greet you.
Mr. Charles, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Charles Confessor.
Charles, my namesake.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What is this all about my people with title? Is this, will be this. You see some riff-raff area boys claiming to be chiefs in Lagos. If you go to Osho, they have more than 1,000 SNG in Lagos. You go to Mushe, SNG, it's a war.
Have you not heard Onyihe Nagara Nkoma one?
Oh, yeah, no.
Which one is Nagara Koma?
One in
I don't understand though. I don't understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
I understand there's also is in Cambodia. Are you aware? Is in Cambodia and Indonesia, all of them. Malaysia.
All right. The last but not least listener or caller now. Welcome.
Hello, good morning, Citizen Jones and my friend Charles Edeho.
Good morning to you.
Yeah.
Peter Usifo is my name. I'm calling from Abaronje in Scotland.
Welcome.
On EFCC versus Melo Kyari, I hope it is not a make-believe investigation. Please, it should be real so that Melo Kyari, the former GCEO of NNPCL, should spill the beans as he had promised Nigerians. That if he's prosecuted or investigated, that he will spill the beans. So let us know the real cabal and cartel in the oil industry. Apart from that, concerning NUPENG and Dangote, please, they should leave Dangote alone. They should leave Dangote and his group, that is his workers alone, so that they should be fuel in Nigeria, because Dangote is helping us. Unless he tries to be a monopolist as people have been speculating, then we will go against him. But for now, we support him. I support Dangote. Thank you very much.
Yeah. But the call for monopoly doesn't even exist, because it's been liberalized. Everybody can go and do whatever. So if you have better marketing strategy, why would people be saying you are monopolizing? I don't know. And then for me, I think Unupeng, NSC, all of them, they've outlived their usefulness. That's for me. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right,
Appreciate
Charles. Today we'll see you.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly.
All right then.
Yeah, thank you.
Our next show is 5 minutes away. Please stick around. All right, folks, good morning one more time. Let's step into the second offering for today, which is Citizen Jones This Morning. This is a show in which we interrogate issues that get thrown up by my country, your country, give context to the issues, just so you know. Well, last week we meant to share this story with you. Professors want 2.5 million naira monthly salary. They decry their 525,000 monthly pay as protest rock universities. We meant to share that with you, but somehow we did a little something wrong, and so you couldn't get us. So we'll go back to that story. Now, an adequate pay is one that is sufficient compensation for work done. Some Nigerian professors have demanded that their salaries be raised to a minimum of 2.5 million naira per month. And so anything less than this is no longer tenable. This development comes on the heels of protests that rocked several campuses as members of ASU decried the federal government failure to honor a renegotiated 2009 federal government ASU agreement. The salary structure of university lecturers continue to generate heated debates. Professor Remi Ayede says, Remi Ayede is of the University of Ibadan. He says Nigerian professors are grossly underpaid compared to their colleagues in other African countries. So let's have a conversation, a debate about this. And my conversationalist this morning is the same dependable Akin Fatunke. He's a Nigerian affairs analyst. Mr. Fatunke, I greet you. Good morning.
Good morning, Citizen Jones. Good morning, Nigerians. Pity you were not able to hear us last week, and so we tried to make it up today.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Mr. Fatunke, the story we are broaching this morning is not new to you.
It is not new to me, nor do I think it is new to
the listener.
Majority of our listeners who are Nigerians and those who are not Nigerians. And I will generally speak of the discontent across the landscape in respect to living wages being paid for good job done. Now, I underline good job done. There are quite a number of jobs that are done that are not fit for purpose, some that are corruptly given and expect greater rewards. But generally, salaries that meet the hygienic needs of good people contributing their quota to the development of self and country. So be it the nurses, be it teachers, lecturers, from primary to tertiary institutions, we have been grossly underpaid relative to the value that is given in an atmosphere.
Relative to the work done by them.
Yeah. And in consonance with the environmental degradation that we have seen our country descend into in past close to 20-30 years. Now, in the specific reference to university lecturers, yes. And I would say this, the minimum they are asking for, in my honest opinion, it cannot be too much, given the erosion that has come to the value of Naira compared to where we are coming from, inflation, relative unemployment, some people call it shadow unemployment, the Japa syndrome that has befallen some of the critical sectors, including, our educational sector. You now have one man, one woman manning more people, either to teach, either to provide security for, and what have you. But having said this, I made this a preface. I am also aware that the wisdom of the sages, which clearly says that you dare not continue to want to do things same way and expect same results. Yes, in the middle ground to where I'm coming from, we could see, we've seen these movies before. It's gone on and on and on and on, the same schedule of going on strike, reaching an agreement which one of the parties, and I talk about the government, will hardly want to keep or hardly able to keep, perhaps to try and keep the lecturers quiet and calm. And before you can say Robinson before Jack, they are back on the turf. So strikes have gone on, and for people who want a tabula rasa, that is a clean slate for us to forget our history. You remember Citizen Jones, and our listeners will also remember that since 1965, I repeat, 1965, the current ASU, actually started as National Association of University Teachers.
Yeah, okay.
Things did not go the way they should go, learning from the highly successful Michael Imodu strike
of 1945.
That, look, the only language that the authorities will recognize is fault. And so ASU, that's the Association of, University Lecturers Union, came in 1978. And since that 1978, my opinion is that we haven't received any meaningful success. The same issues were discussed, almost same agreement in form and content was secured. Hopes will be dashed, and we start all over again. Perhaps the silver lining in the whole of that will be between 1990 and 1994, when Atahiru Jega, yes, the same professor, Atahiru Jega became the ASU president, and it could also be said that his tenure laid the ground, math for strikes, basically because some relative successes were achieved. Salaries of lecturers were upgraded, as at that time, by the time he was going to leave in 1994, and then the conversion of the educational trusts, tax, which morphed into the tertiary research grants for lecturers. And as usual, when things start, it goes on well, and then our usual corruptive tendencies now set in. Of course, the university lecturers like Oliver Twist also wanted some. They also had issues surrounding, sex for grade, and all that went on. And since then, we have had strikes in 1988 under IBB. which led to the proscription of ASU, specifically on August 7 of 1988. Of course, like I said, returned in 1990, only to be proscribed again in August 1992, following another strike action. Same we had in 1994 and 1996. In total, our dear listeners, our dear discerning audience, we've been on strike for 42 months in 21 years. That is, if you take a measure between 1999 to 2020.
That's over 3 years.
And that included a record 9 months downtime that we had in 2020. So, it's been on, it's been off, it's been switched on, it's been switched off. Battery on, battery now. I restate this history for us to know that something is just not working. I know a lot of efforts have also been made. The BRICS Commission that came in were looking at, how can universities now be autonomous? If you remember what happened during the time of Professor Jalil Omotola, who did quite a lot at University of Lagos, and they had some relative autonomy. They had a mission, they had a value that they were able to articulate, and things were going. And through a PPP arrangement, private sector came in and were able to construct what you can call a form of hostel. And then agitation now then came with the unions that, the poorest of the poor cannot afford education. No doubt about that. But there has to be much more creative ways, because that is how it is done in the Ivy Leagues. Ivy League universities that we have all over the world. Yeah. So why do we want to copy how it is there without wanting to go through the rough patch and edges? And so it's gone on and off. In 2025, truth has to be told. The amount of money that the lecturers are asking for, if you put it in dollar terms, is slightly over $1,500. What can that do? Now, where I am coming from, because my experience is with the oil and gas. Of course, you know about the Shells of this world, the ExxonMobils of this world. Back in the day, the Egypts. So one of the things that they did was, let's pay you what we call competitive wage. While you're having that competitive wage, you also then try to take care of your hygienic needs in terms of your housing. So they have housing estates.
Yeah.
That is self-powered, self-generating. A lot of like back Unilag elsewhere, my alma mater, Ahmadu Bello University of Ibadan, of course, the Citadel, and the others that came, had issues that they could generate their light. They could even find a way to now begin to do research. They had, some television, some radio stations to communicate. Entrepreneurship blossomed until about not too long ago, when the issue of aligning their salary system, IPPS, and they came with UTAS, came on. We did not specifically carry through what needs to be done. Now, where are we now? If I take a mirror and I look at us, I was initially really downcasted when, the Minister for Education now said, look, as far as they are concerned, the 2019 agreement they are talking about, which they felt was the last one, the BRICS version is still a draft, but he was man enough to now then made a clarification and said a few of the 2019 agreements are being set. One of them is proliferation of universities. So the National Assembly is proposing that we shouldn't just continue to create universities that we cannot sustain, and we will not be able to sustain. Yeah. And then President Bola Ahmed Tinubu released some $50 billion, which was I'll call it little, but something that will not in reality address the real needs of the people. Unpaid allowances not being paid. You now begin to ask yourself, even if you say to me that whatever it is they are asking for, can we afford? But if you cannot afford to pay that, yet you are paying yourself, you are even trying to, according to your law, trying to increase salaries of political holders. When you jumble all this together, I am certain that the lecturers woke up and say, look, you can't continue on the other side to do what is wrong and what is not morally right, and then continue to deprive us. So, to the Bastilles. Yes.
Okay. The listener must know that this subject matter is germane, especially when we consider that in my country, your country, a councillor, a local government councillor, is said to earn more than a professor in my country. The professors are earning about $525,000 a month, and I hear many councillors earn more than that. And also, the RMAFC, you know the one now.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Revenue Mobilization.
Yeah, the other day
Commission.
mooted the idea of upping the salaries of public officials in my country. So why not the professors?
No.
But again, there's a counter argument of we are talking about over 4,000 professors.
When you want to do the maths, statistics is one thing that you use to lie depending on which angle. So let me pick up from your last statement. Yes, we don't have enough. Now, if you are looking at the political office holders that are now busting at the seams now, the original intention is that they are limited, so pay them much. But if you are now going to now extend that, say, to medical doctors, okay, now, to university lecturers, with that kind of number, can we really afford? And I keep on saying that there is a system in education, Montessori type of education, that tells you there has to be competition, there has to be people that are going to be graded, there has to also be a consideration for where you are operating from, and the relative ease by which you can get housing, you can get education, get transportation, is graded in specialized ways. So whatever a lecturer is earning at, say, University of Lagos, will naturally have a skewed differential to what somebody is earning at University of Maiduguri, and whatever somebody is earning at, say, University of Nigeria Nsukka, will also be slightly skewed different from what you are earning from the University of Abuja. Factor endowments, including your capacity to be able to feed in relative terms, is not going to be equal at all those stages. When you introduce that, because that is exactly what you have in other geographies, people will embrace and take a decision. Yes, I want to stay in the center of excellence, Lagos, as an example, or I want to go to Maiduguri, or I want to go to Sokoto, because I think life is going to be easier in Sokoto. And of course, you will have linked, the factors of life that makes life easy: transportation, telecommunications. But today, what do we have? We are bedeviled by the fact that we need to restructure our economy. That is the truth. The economy needs to be restructured. We need to find the true value for what we had been swallowing all this time. But if you, as rulers, not leaders, you keep on nesting your pockets, You keep on thinking about your pockets. You keep on thinking in terms of prebendalism. It's my own turn, and so I flood the whole place with my type of people, with my family, with this and all that, and you all continue to smile to the banks, and then you begin to now then say my priorities sometimes becomes a platitude, is that I must improve infrastructure. Yes, we must improve infrastructure, no doubt about that, but not at the detriment of the goose that lays the golden egg. You now decide that you want to build roads, you want to construct roads, not bad from looking at it from the perspective, but if the people that are going to ply those roads are now becoming the poorest of the poor, you want to buy yachts, you want to buy jets and all that, what else do you expect people in terms of perception to look at you at? So don't give us all the stories about the fact that the law says you should benefit political holders. So that same law is saying you should kill our lecturers.
Okay.
That looks like hogwash to me.
Yeah. Mr. Fadunke, the treatment meted out to to universities in my country, a little history will not hurt anybody here. Let's go back to 1978. You remember the Ali Mosgo saga?
Oh, I remember the Ali Mosgo saga.
Late Colonel Amadu Ali was then federal commissioner for education.
Federal commissioner or federal minister?
They were called commissioner. Under
the military.
General Obasanjo, his first coming.
Murtala Obasanjo. Okay, right.
No, Obasanjo.
Specifically under Obasanjo. I know that.
So, and under the IBB regime, it became worse. You talked about the longest strike yet by universities came under the regime.
The IBB, and then of course, and then later we now had Buhari that also had about 9 months uninterrupted strike.
Okay, but it raises the question. The cynic would raise the question: is it a deliberate attempt to keep the ivory towers down?
It looks so, Citizen Jones. And why I say it looks so is the fact that those quote unquote who are bent to keep it down know how to get themselves some of the best. So they send their children abroad on monies that you may not be able to adequately, account for. If it is not a wardrobe allowance, it is a rat and rabbit, allowance. You send your children out there in the false hope that you expect them to come back. Many of them refuse because they consider coming back into, please pardon my language,
taboo.
a shitty hole kind of situation. So you have used your money to send them out there. They look back at you and spit in your faces. How then do you think you really think of the poorer of the poorest? Okay, in thinking of the poorer of the poorest, I so will recognize, because usually when I come on television and radio, I try my possible best, to be balanced. Back in the day, we have the scholarship board, and people can take little loans to educate themselves. We are getting the NEL funds in this day and age. Again, still too little, maybe adequate. Better than not having anything at all. But when you put all that together, and at the same time, you are now reconstructing, VP lodge, VP house. You are buying jets. You are not able to, is it balance your budget? You are not able to perform effectively on your budget. You are not able to look at the social security, that takes care of the poorest of the poor, so that one way or the other people can have the good access to education. We are talking about university lecturers, Citizen Jones. We are not now talking about the attendants ratchets that surround university lecturers, that is non-academic staff. We are not talking about the fact that the average university lecturer today will be struggling in buses that have been provided for students, will be struggling to huddle together in hostels. That may want to sound like an exaggeration, but look, go down. And so I'm happy that we are getting the courage to say, look, let's stop this proliferation, let's stop this balancing act that we know we are not going to be able to meet, and then begin to sit down on a round table.
Grab the bulls by the horns.
Not only grab the bulls by the horns, look at it and begin to set character, capacity, competence, and consciousness of the fact that those who are sending abroad, who are your children, some of them, by the time they come back, they are going to come back into a hostile environment of people waiting to kidnap them, people to butcher them, and all that. So the whole thing is holistically disjointed. Comes back to the national question. And what is this national question? We must find a way to do a restructure by starting to, in the educational sector, we have to now then say we have to make a point that our university lecturers deserve better than they have. Yes, we can then put the enabling environment and then the structure to regulate any university lecturer that is, not doing what needs to be done, has a sanction. And those who are doing very, very well will not find themselves dead like Professor
should be adequately rewarded.
Chike Obi and Awojobi of this world. So we have the capacity to be able to do it, the strong will to come in a way, a manner that we can now look at our problems heads on. The university lecturers can come back and take a decision that we can be part of the solution. They are supposed to be solution providers. And I'm sure they have the solutions too.
Okay, dear listener, please, let's make this a dialogue, not a monologue. Now, you have the opportunity of reacting. Do you want to raise new issues or join issues, as it were? The story is simple. Professors in my country, your country, want 2.5 million naira monthly salary. They don't like the 525,000 monthly pay they are receiving. Do so now. The line is open now. Let's have you. Yeah, I have a first listener. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, at the radio icon, morning once again, sir.
Welcome.
Yeah, Alabalakpa is my name, and I greet your guests. Sir, I want to ask you a direct question. Is there any amount that is too much for our teachers? Is there any amount that is too much for our teachers? Sir, I'm directing the question to you, and I believe the answer that might likely come from you should be no. Sir, teacher is teacher. Even not only the lecturer. We're talking, let's talk about from the primary, the secondary, down to the university level. Yeah. Sir, our lecturers deserve good life. They deserve good life. Even the 2.5 million naira is something that I thought some of these our politicians take to the bar and use to buy one bottle of wine. Sir, 2.5 million naira is not much for a lecturer. If at all, if federal government can do more than that, or state government can do more than that, let our lecturers have good life. Let our teachers in primary school have good life.
Thank you.
Let our secondary school teachers have good life. They deserve good pay. They deserve better life. Good morning and God bless Nigeria.
Bless you. Yeah. So
yes, Alaba, I mean, we are on the same page. I won't even want to put a number. All I said is that not just monetary, you can also convert into they having good housing schemes, good medical schemes, all huddled together, that by the time you now put all this together, you see them earning by far more than 2.5. Now, the 2.5 that you are talking about can be eroded by inflation. And in any case, Alaba, I am in full agreement with you that there is a capacity for us to be able to do it and not find ourselves with a Pareto analysis of 20% who will now be drinking pepper soup somewhere and then,
all right,
doing funny things with our Commonwealth.
Let's take another listener. Another listener is here. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir.
I am Okuri by name.
Go on, sir. Go on.
I'm calling you within the island of Lagos State. I want to react to the program as to our educational sector. You see, Nigeria...
No, please get the story right. Professors want 2.5 million naira monthly salary, not 525,000. I'm not talking about the educational sector, please.
Yes, that is what I'm saying right away. You see, we've never been very serious about education, and that is why we are having it the way we are having it today. It is just a pity. Because I believe education is light. It brings light directly. And that we have refused to understand this, I believe we are going to remain in the dark. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, too. Yeah, Mr. Fadunke, you remember that it's from statistics. In about 1,000 universities throughout the world, which Nigerian university is on the list?
Well, a Nigerian university has consistently not been in the top tier.
Yeah.
Some stray into the multiple of the of the 1,000 that you are talking about, and then they suddenly came out. But a very interesting thing. Now,
and please tie this to what I just asked. Foreign students used to come here and study, and that generated a lot of foreign exchange.
Not only did it generate foreign exchange, we also had, university lecturers from all over the world that jackpot to Nigeria because Nigeria was able to provide the fertile grounds where
the enabling environment
where they could thrive. And then there was also the thirsts for education. Like Okori said, is the beacon of the light. It is the way to go. And then suddenly along the line, we all are aware, because we know where, we started getting the rain beating us.
Beaten by the rain.
We now had people who are in authorities now taking a decision that they also want to own universities.
Yeah.
They are now juggling to now then decide the kind of curriculum that should come and all that kind of thing. And then we started going downhill.
Okay. I have another listener here. So we welcome him. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, this is Alpha. I'm calling from AJ once again.
Go on.
First of all, I think the federal government should grant their request for them, because you see, even starting from secondary, primary school, each and every one of us pass through teachers, and those people are doing jobs. They are doing jobs that their payment is not enough for them. And you see, I believe it is the system that we are running in this country that is the cause or problem that is affecting these lecturers and teachers. Because most of all these elites and all these our prominent men, they are students. None of them are attending education in this country. None of them are passing through university in this country. So that is the reason why many of them fail to put attention in those in institutions in Nigeria.
Thank you. We'll leave it there. 60 seconds. We got him first time. Yeah.
So let's even assume, and I agree, that for whatever reason you have to use your money to carouse and you have stolen your money and all that. Now you have a little left. And people are demanding that please give us what is due to us. There will be high, there will be mid, there will be low. There are a few things that some of these lecturers are asking for that we should begin to implement. We should start to have been implementing it. But when we put this aside, then you know the way in conflict resolution. You didn't answer me the last time, so I'm going to find a way to hammer you, and this time around I am not going to want to listen to you. Now, it went on and they gave warning and all that kind of stuff. My thoughts for any government that we have had in our country in the last 50 years out of the 64 that we are should be such that while you are looking at infrastructure, you also be looking at human capacity development. How should we go about it? What should we do? Be transparent. This is all what we have. UNESCO says a certain percentage should go to education. Okay, we can't give that. This is the reason why we can't give that, because if we did that, the issue of our security and the issue of our health will go into doldrums. So can we take a decision that for the next 2-3 years, we want to give relative to the big pie that we have into education, and we measure it in such a way and manner that the scorecard, even if it is marginal,
all right,
we see marginal improvement.
Okay. Well, let's take another.
Good morning, Susan Jones.
I greet you,
Good morning to your guest.
Welcome.
My name is Mary. I'm calling from Prescott.
Go on.
Yeah, let me contribute to your discussion, just from a different angle. Yes, the 2.5 million naira that the lecturers are requesting. For me, it's not all about the amount. It should be making the economy work. Yes, they might not get up to that 2.5, but the point is that even if you give them 5 million naira a month and the inflation is still on the increase, it will consume it. And moreover, people will now see them as a species. Kidnappers will start targeting them. So the most important thing is for the government to put the country in order. Let the ASU join hands with other unions or other civil society to make sure that this will call them to order. Why I don't normally pity them is because most of this, you said the lecturers are getting lower than councillors, but they rig the elections for them. Look at what happened in Akwa Ibom through Akbabi. Look at what happened. If not for God's intervention, as I say, we have been in this condition we are now.
Thank you.
Most of these lecturers rig for politicians. That is why they are paying them back.
We got you first time. Yeah.
Yes.
You remember a cynic said, how could politicians expect respect from lecturers when they are the ones who rig them into office?
Okay. And I've heard that story.
To underscore what the last caller just said.
The last caller is quite spot on. But then I always make this point. Not all lecturers. I know. We also
not all, yeah.
We also have professors who stood their ground. A female professor stood her ground and said, I am not going to be bought by money. Now, so if you pick her on one hand and then you pick this other person on one hand, we now then therefore now then say the rain should now fall and beat them all. Those who are not doing well, let's isolate them. And the lecturer the professor that the last caller spoke about is schooling his nose somewhere in prison. The other lecturer is now the toast of the whole world. I saw a video that went viral a while ago in the East. One Dr. Ejim. It was his birthday, and they did a surprise package for him. While lecture was going on, the students now got up and started putting gifts. He was nearly weeping. Where would you want to place that kind of thing? Those are, in my opinion, lecturers that we should promote, lecturers that should get, national awards.
Should edify.
Those are the ones that we are looking at. We won't want to throw the baby away with the bathwater.
All right, let me take another listener here. Good morning to
Hello,
you.
good morning, Citizen Joe.
Yeah, welcome.
This is Okangwelina.
Okay then.
Yes, I want to toe the line of the last speaker, but on a different level. I think it's not necessarily that the lecturers are rigging, the professors are rigging election for the politicians, but these lecturers, these professors that are not being taken care of by the politicians. Anytime the election, you go and pick them to come and run the election for you. I think to deal with the professors or the lecturers in totality can say, look, we are not going to take part in this election again. If you don't treat us fine, then when you want to conduct your election, just do it on your own. Don't involve us. Because I don't see why you go and recruit the same people to run election when you cannot take care of them. So I think the lecturers should stand their ground and say, look, we will not conduct the election for you. Go and source your manpower elsewhere.
Thank you. 60 seconds, yeah.
And so when you search your manpower elsewhere, you go and bring the float SAMs and the jet SAMs, and then they will do worse than what the lecturers have done. At the end of the day, when elephants fight, who will suffer? You and I. I think it's an
but when the same elephants, if you permit this, when the same elephants engage in a love tango, it's the same grass that still suffers.
The grass will go from brown to to indigo and what?
Yeah, lose its greenness.
For me, from what the last caller said, we need a total mindset change in this country. Yes, we are talking about lecturers. We could as well be talking about the medical doctors,
specifically professors.
We could be talking about primary school teachers. Don't forget. We could also be talking about civil servants. Yes, you hear me. Civil servants who have been different, who have elected to be different. People in the military who choose that they are going to be different, and they are doing that at the risk of their lives, and they are not going to do what others do. What we need to do, I agree with you, is to build not only structures, revamp the economy in such a way, a manner that it begins to earn, and whatever it is earned, the priority should now be for education and research.
So when former President Obama came to Ghana and underscored the importance of building strong institutions and not strong individuals, he was talking to us indirectly.
He was talking to us, but by the time he looked back into his America, we saw what happened in his America. He himself was askance. In other words, the mindset of a people who believe that it should be others before self, one. Secondly, who have the moral conscience to have strategies that they can implement. And there is nothing wrong in when you want to implement a strategy and then it is not going on fine. Come out openly and give us reasons why that is so good and what you have learned from it and what you can do immediately to rectify. There is no perfection anywhere.
I have another listener here. Good morning.
Good morning, Citizen Jones and your guest in the studio.
I greet you.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, my name is Peter Osifo. I'm calling from Abaraja in Escota. I agree that every worker should get good wages, and especially our lecturers, the professors. They should be well paid, well remunerated in society, because they are the main builders of the society, every society they belong to. But I begin to wonder the problem in Nigeria, especially with the lecturers. They go on strike almost every year, every administration. I don't know why. It's unlike the 60s, 70s, and 80s, where many lecturers or some of let's say lecturers, don't go on strike as they go on strike now. So what is the problem? Is it because of the inflation or poor government or agitation, or maybe the government not able to, implement the agreements to the lecturers, especially the 2009 agreement, which these professors, especially the ASU people, have seen as a base for their perpetual.
Thank you, Mr. Sifo. We got you. We got you first time.
Yeah, Mr. Sifo. Let it be known that what we are facing now, we have faced more than 30 years ago. More than 30 years ago. Lecturers have gone on strike for 42 months, like I said. Okay? 30 years ago.
Cumulatively.
Yes. 30 years, yes. 30 years ago, we had a professor, he was the Dean, Faculty of Engineering at the University of Benin, Professor Ejovo Ohomole. He was asking exactly what you are asking. Wait a minute, we are supposed to be solution providers. It doesn't matter. It should not just be strike and strike and strike. And one of the things they were trying to profile at that time, please listen, is that we have professors like the previous caller, the penultimate caller mentioned. You professors, you are part of policy, you are part of this, you are part of that. It's true. But when you don't have the mindset of wanting to go in there to provide service, you end up saying that you should not be speaking when you are eating.
Mm-hmm. But
Professor Jubril Aminu of blessed memory was also a minister of education, was also in the Senate. That was a professor that talked about nomadic education here and there. Are you saying, as a professor who finished from the University of Ibadan and could speak some languages other than Fulfulde, he did not know how to try and see what he needed to do? Or before him, is anybody going to say here that a Professor Babs Fafunwa, who was also part of trying to inculcate local languages into our educational sector? I can go on, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, Professor Jerry Ghana. Are you saying these people, don't have a way? That let's inject these people. Let them go out there when they sit at state and perhaps local government and federal government level should insist that we are not going to be a part and parcel. You start from the policy level.
All right.
Certain things should not be done. Certain things should be done at all costs.
Another listener is here. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, good morning to the guest. My name is Chika. I'm calling from Apapa. I want to start by saying that the federal government of Nigeria have the capacity, more than the capacity, to fix education and make the life of our teachers and lecturers comfortable for them. But they don't want to do it, because if they provide good life for lecturers, the benefit will be attractive for people who is running to abroad, or those lecturers who is going to elsewhere, who is going to private school to go and lecture because of the benefit there, to attract them back to public schools. And the children of the poor will have good education. If they fix education, they believe that maybe in the nearest future, the eyes of the children of the poor will open.
Thank you. We'll leave it there. 60 seconds. Yeah. You got him?
I got him. So they say in the city of the blind, one eye man is also a blind man. If you get what I'm saying, because he will not be able to cater for, and he will eventually go blind. And like they say, when you keep on feeding the wolves that surround you, one day those wolves will be so strong and they will end up swallowing you.
Yeah, Mr. Fadunke, but there's also an extension to that statement. It is not what you're looking at with your one eye that matters, but what you're seeing.
It is not what you look at that matters,
but what you see.
Henry David Thoreau, the philosopher. Exactly. So now, what do you see? I will take the indulgence.
Let's begin to take it.
I'll take the indulgence to say this truth to all of us. Yes, we all say it is the government at the center, the government at the state. No doubt about that. They should set the tone. But what I see more is a situation where we clamor for the center, and when we get to the center, we want to continue to do what the others have been doing without a mindset of what have I got to also contribute? What have I got to make myself different? Most times you may feel lose out. Most times you may feel that you are not getting what you need to do, but history will stand you in good stead.
Yeah.
Being poor, saying the truth, and in principle, than just joining them, mouthing, and knowing things are not the way they should go. We should all collectively come together as people to say the system that we are using to govern ourselves for education, for health, for security is not going fit to purpose, and we have different tongues and tribes and inclination. We must say to ourselves, others first before self. And when you get in there, decide to go and serve. Yes, we are running a democracy. I don't know whether it's a democracy that is fit for our purpose. We are drawing a constitution that is lied against itself. We are looking at a place like Rwanda. We are in Kigali. Will you call?
Okay, except
will you call
we have had the debate. We have had the debate before. Our problem in this country is not constitutional. It is attitudinal, because we have had 10 constitutional conferences in this country, including Jonathan's own in 2014. We have had 10 constitutional conferences reports. What have we done with them? It is our attitude.
Okay, because we choose not to do anything with them.
Good.
And then look the other way. And no leader that I have known has effectively come to say, this is the blueprint, this is how to go about it. The present government, like it, don't like it, making some attempts to want to do a couple of things. One, by getting into restructuring. Local government autonomy, states should have more money.
Many states don't like.
From a lot of the pains we are going through, but we are still not getting
all right, Mr. Fatunke, time is tight, so we want to thank you for your intervention.
Always a pleasure.
Okay, we are out here, folks. Until next week. Bye-bye now. Good morning.